Yes.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Orbify Forest webinar. Thank you for joining. And please follow my deeds on our platform. Perhaps you are following the recent updates that we've got. This is how we're evolving. This is the current view. Everything on one screen, from editing the URL, the name, giving and revoking permissions. We're trying to make it even more transparent with each improvement. Thanks to you all, guys, that you're giving us feedback, what you would like to see, what you would like to do, how would you like to do even. We give you some of the templates that we're going to maybe explore in another webinar, because there was quite a bit of them. And of course, what we most interesting are the workflow explorer. This is the no code view, but the recent development is, you probably know all the processes that we implemented, selecting the band, so on and so forth. But in recent time, we had this one. We tend to characterize it as code and no code. And this is the example of with each model, we provide you with some code snippet that you can explore, see what is going inside. Here you can copy paste all your Python codes that you develop on your laptop using third-party software like QGIS with Python API connected to it, the Google Earth engine, or whichever script that you see fit and you feel comfortable with. Here you can have it as a block inside. Add user parameters like required data input. This one already we demonstrated in some other. Let's put some default dates, because why not? That's my description. Put dates. I promise it's going to get more interesting once we do the brief introduction. And of course, let's see if it actually works on our test region. Execute. Surprisingly, no errors. We also improved the error handling, so now you have more feedback on your code. It sort of resembles the Python IDEs, that whichever you're using. Of course, here it works. You can configure the legend, so on and so forth. So far so good. Let's explore more the code side. There are two basic parameters that we would like you to show you how you can explore your apps for forestry. First is the forest height, which is one of the most important forest parameters. Another would be basically where the forest was planted. And sorry, I have some errors on the other screen, but I would like to delete this one and replace it with sorry, why is it happening? Thank you. Here's the code snippet that I prepared with our team of experts. We're using the JEDI datasets of the forest height. Those are the measurements that are being done with the LiDAR system that is currently flying on the International Space Station, with covering between 51 and south and north all of the planet's Earth. If you're really interested, what we're going to display, we're going to display the waveforms showing the ground return and the highest surface height in between, and showing the difference between them. So far so good. If you're willing to, if you're interested in that reading, I also recommend you the the data ATBD that has a really extensive explanation what is going to happen. But coming back to our app, we're starting by giving the input parameters. Although in the current situation, we're going to use the user input parameters. We load the heights of the ground and 95th percentile of the heights of the trees. And then we do some quality filtering because the data is quite noisy. You can also read in the aforementioned paper. If you're interested, I would be really glad to talk more about maybe in the comment section. But in the end, what is showing, it is displaying the height. And now the beauty of it, all of the parameters that we defined here as in the form of dictionary can be used for further app configuration. Let's go, for instance, here at the legend. Tree height. Why not? And we can access the. Please tell me, Jakub, I can see your face. That probably maybe my screen is too small, too big, or are there any feedbacks? And this is the value in the dictionary that we're returning. It's simple as add the legend, save, and rerun it. And this time, instead of land cover classification, sorry, it's important to save the data. We're going to see the surface heights of the vegetation. Probably the area that I'm always really greedy. Probably the area is too big, so that's why it's taking quite a bit. Once we're done with it, perhaps are there any other questions? What are the as the calculated height is 19 meters, and if we zoom in, this is the specificity of this data. Is actually the point cloud data, so it's not continuous, but it's taking the mean tree height over this region. In some regions, the data is more sparse than the others, but it's a genuine. Do not recommend you to directly interpolate this data because you will have some unwanted results. What does temporal what is it? It actually depends. The ISS is orbiting the Earth every 90 minutes or so, but here what we're using is a monthly data. What I recommend you is to experiment over the forest that you already know that has a pretty homogeneous cover. The footprint is about 25 meters. So if you have some relevant data set that you can verify with it against it, it would be good. And of course, once the application was tested, we can go to some other place and explore this app, how it's going to look like. Sorry, I'm still not used to Mac and how beautiful it is. Why not choose the dates? And accordingly, it should compute for in the end user view. Now having this opportunity, of course, the legend is here. It's different. Of course, we can modify it further, make the points bigger, but here actually like there are quite dense. The points, we can see the individual tracks from which they're coming. Again, a really important global data source of the vegetation height. Really important parameter if you want to characterize the forest in terms of biomass, its health, how is it growing, compare one year to another. But what it would be without actually actual verification of the surface type that we can expect. And here I'm going to resort to the pre-cooked recipe that if you're interested, we're going to give away this code so you can explore with some explanation. Let's go again to the code. This time we're going to explore the Google Dynamic Word dataset. It's a classification dataset based on Sentinel-2. Here, the general parameters, the moving window. Here I'm putting 60 days, because in order just to be sure that we're going to acquire some cloud-free imagery. We're only interested in the classification class trees. The date parameters, nothing really interesting here. Here I'm also showing you how you can explore the internal features such as hue shading in order to make your visualization more aesthetically pleasing. And here we're calculating with Google Earth Engine with the Python API the individual parameters like the area forest that was grown, lost, and also here in some of the modules we have the biomass estimation that actually combines multiple data sets as well in order to train the regression model that is provided with scikit-learn. So again, showing a really important feature that whatever works on your laptop in your Python code, you can just copy paste it here and it will run smoothly. Again, this is the part that we're really proud of, that we give you more and more ability to customize your app. Those are the parameters in the legend, providing a dictionary, name, value. All of the inside app calculations can be displayed to users. Here you can see actually how the pre-cooked version actually looks like. Date of analysis, it is here. Those are the dates that are provided by the user. Total forest gain. One can imagine any source of data that can be displayed here. We make it as easy as possible. And are there any volunteers? Is there any specific region of the world that you would like to explore? Chats? If somebody's reading the chat. Paraguay. So, sorry, you were not the first. Sorry for everybody else. But let's save it. Let's go to the app view. Of course, you can share this link with whoever is needed. You can customize it to include your Paraguay. Now I'm going to Paraguay. Excellent. Well, pretty big country. I will just permit myself to make it small, a little bit smaller region. What has happened? What has happened? At least I know now where Paraguay lies. Oh, here. Reserva Natural de Bosque. Pardon my French. Assuming the region of interest to capture, hopefully the forest not being cut. Why forest? temporal extend. Those 3 years are okay, I assume. Quite a lot. So again, those what I was just showing are two types of models that we give to you, so you can play with them. You can design your own. You can, of course, consult us and give us suggestion what kind of data sets you're really interested in. You can upload your own. Uh, Again, forest gain, forest loss in this region. We can see this typical fishbone deforestation that occurred some time ago already. There are some patches that are gone, new that appear, but rather few of them. So that would be it. If you have some suggestions, now I think it's the time for the discussion. That I'm really eager to hear your ideas or opinions. What you would like to see on Orbify? What are the features that might be interesting or cool, really interesting? Thank you. I'm just reading some of the chats. So now the floor is yours. I'm not going to, force you like in the classroom, but hopefully there are some.
I think there was already a question at 426 about the Google Earth Engine datasets.
Mm-hmm. What was the actual question?
Other platform linked with Google Earth Engine datasets. Also, I would like to know how I can have access to the platform.
Yes, we have access to all of the Google Earth Engine datasets, and among others that we also provide. And in terms of platform access, Jakob is the person. He is the kingmaker, so he can make it happen. And actually, we are planning to open the platform for everyone, even this quarter. Am I correct?
Sure, and Matt and everyone, hello once again. If you would like to get access to the platform, please simply go to orbify.app, and over there you can log in. You can create a new account on the platform. If you have any questions, then you can either email me directly or also on the left side. In the app builder view, you can see a small Slack icon, because this is exactly linked to our Slack channel. So I encourage you to log in there as well.
Perhaps you have any forest of your preference that you're really feeling attached to, that is being deforested. And of course, what are the typical? I'm really eager to hear what are the typical applications that you're encountering in your work. Here we showed you like to track deforestation, and also how to track the forest height, which is the proxy for forest biomass. Could be used for in terms of land use management, forestry management, and also in terms of carbon credits and how you can better protect your forest.
Matej, there are also a few questions in the chat. I'll read them to you. RTC corrected S1 VV DB scale geotiff output. I feel like I just spoke Latin.
Yes, if you click the output here directly, you export the map as map tiles in geotiff format, as well as the shape files. You can also upload your own data.
That is very important. Another question is, any raster export as TIFF file to further use in ArcGIS or QGIS? I guess
yes, it's the same. And also the Arc and QGIS have their Python APIs, so you can directly copy paste your Python code for the QGIS, for instance, in the same manner, and it will produce the same results and display it in this app.
There are a couple of questions regarding time series. So one of them, I also want to know the time series analysis can do or not, and can you extract time series for a number of polygons?
Yes, you can. Those are the really cool features. I think our development team is running. We have number of applications, pardon, custom datasets. Now I'm going out of my way, so I'm not supposed to. Please, datasets. This is one of the applications that we developed. Another template that you can explore in that template view. Here we demonstrating the weather predictions and measurements over a given region, and whenever you click on a map, it will also give you all the statistics from that region. You can export it as a report. I don't know if it directly answers your questions, but it is one of the template view that we provide in terms of time series analysis. Or maybe I got the question wrong, and you probably may be interested in some kind of cross correlations between data sets. Then, of course, everything that you can do in Python, now we gave you the tool. What kind of Python libraries? Excellent questions. Most of the ones that I tried worked, but if you have any specific version in mind, I think we can make it work. Unless our development team would like to chip in if there's like really specific place.
So Maciek, basically what you are saying is that if you are seeking for some specific version of library that you need, then just get in contact with us, ideally through Slack, and we will see if we can support it.
Of course, what I hadn't mentioned is whenever you're building an app, you have also an option to get our support by joining our Slack community, and we gladly answer of the question, implement new features, whatever is needed. We just like make you and your users happy.
And then there was a question from Matt that maybe got lost in the meantime about sharing the results. So Matt, the philosophy of the platform is exactly what Maciek is showing, that you can share the link to your application with your users, your clients, your customers, and this way they can experience the platform. This way they can learn about results that you produced.
Perhaps you have some projects already in mind. What kind of forestry applications you have in mind? Because pardon me, you have really nice and specific questions.
There is, I think, a very specific question at the end. Is there an equivalent of Conda environments?
If I'm not mistaken, each app already it has its individual virtual environment. So if you specify the particular version of packages, Python packages that you would like to use, they are going to be visible in this environment. But please, development team, you're welcome to correct me. Of course, you can connect multiple blocks, multiple inputs together in order to have different, like one can imagine one Python code for one layer to be displayed, or multiple blocks connected together. Each one is responsible for one data set.
Maciek, maybe what you actually could do, another thing is showing how you can customize the template, because this may be relevant also to Matt's question. So when you go to the settings and yeah, edit template, because here you can specifically to Matt, but also everyone else interested, you can decide what areas are, for example, public, right? And then you can decide that certain areas will be public, certain AOIs will be, maybe Maciek, you could show my areas. If, yeah. So
This one.
yeah, if you
is the
click on this one, so we can decide that this will be public, that you can even make it a default one that it will be shown to your users. You can publish certain dates of the analysis. So this way, if you just share a link to your application, then people will see the results that you want them to see, right? They don't need to select AOI on their own. They don't need to select dates on their own. They are just immediately taken to the view that you want them to see. And in the configuration, in the app builder view, in the configuration, you can also decide whether the application is available to everyone, whether it's public, or maybe invite only, in which case you exactly have full control over who gets to see the results that you want people to see.
You can also add the information, customize the app as according to your needs. For instance, you take the same data to a conference to present one IOE that you're working with, and with the same app with different permissions, different welcome screen, just by tweaking here. You can provide it to your NGO or to land plantation or palm oil plantation to use the same algorithm for commercial purposes.
And also an important useful link is wiki.orbify.com. I encourage you to visit it, because you may find there are answers to multiple how do I do a certain thing on Orbify.
With the regarding the how do you do, have you placed it in the chat?
Wiki.orbify.com. Yeah, I did. Thanks, Maciek. And then we've got also a question about SAR components. Does the platform have components where we can use SAR images for forest change detection or deforestation detection in tropical areas which have high cloud cover?
Oh, it's a really specific. Yes, indeed. We are integrated with Amazon S3 as well as with Google Earth Engine datasets, and there are a number of satellite radar imagery, the Sentinel-1, for instance, that can be equally used for forest identification.
And in the platform, you have access to all the image maths components, subtraction, multiplication, etc. So you can use this to, for example, visualize change in the forest size.
Here's the example how you can also change the same algorithm, but with a different templates. Everything is possible. Let's go to Texas, because why not? Any other questions? Like I really like the dynamics of this discussion. We can. This is.
And yes, it is possible to combine different kinds of data sets like SAR and optical. It's all up to you what you build.
Unless sometimes because Jakob, you're a specialist, so sometimes you have the different point of view. Is there any specific problem that you'd like to solve? You'd like to merge optical with radar imagery, and to extract some combined information? I would like to do, for instance, like having individual modules like the code blocks, as we demonstrated, responsible for the processing of each data type, then merging it in yet a third block, or I think I destroyed it somehow. In the third block, just one responsible for again, you can see the actual Earth Engine, Google Earth Engine data sets. Here's the radar Sentinel-1 GRD data, with which you can either process it with our custom processes, the default processes that we already implemented, or you can just, sorry for abusing the just, I know that can be quite daunting when you start working with that. Then you can make a separate processing block for them. Something is wrong. Can anybody from my team can tell me what is wrong? Why can I do it? Excellent. So in principle, that is the idea. Yes, it is possible. I will just but you yes, yes, the recording will be present. I don't know if I have to still be recording that. Chef?
Yeah, I think you can keep recording. We'll
Okay.
take maybe another question or two.
Yes, I think the materials we're going to spread in an email to all of you, so you can explore. We really welcome all of the feedback. If you have specific algorithm that you like to explore, like merging the optical and radar imagery for classification, which we know that provides better results than them individually, then give us a task. We'll be really happy to help you in solving this and tackling the forestry problems. Maybe my team. So should I? My team is making me suggestion that I still don't know the platform well enough to make a live demo. Thank you for this kind suggestion. It might well be. I will try to do my best and
Next time, Matt. Next time it will be flawless.
Next time, better performance. Thank you, chef. Oui, chef.
Service.
D'accord, chef.
All right, I think we can start to wrap it up. I see I think we covered all the questions in the chat, either through well, actual replies or the comments in the chat. Everybody's going to get the recording of the webinar in a couple of days. So obviously feel free to replay the recording and reply to the email once you get the recording. If you have any more questions, feel free to join our Slack community. We're always there and available if you have any specific project related questions. Once again, you can access the platform very simply on the URL orbify.app. You can create a profile and start exploring it. If you have not done so yet, I highly recommend you do. And once you have the feedback for us, and I'm sure you'll have some, you can reach out once again either on Slack or to Jakub, and he dropped his email in the chat as well. It's very simply jd@orbify.com. Thanks so much for coming to the webinar, and thank you for bearing with us through the tech hurdles. We promise we'll change the platform for the next time, and it will be a better experience. But to every one of you who is on the European time zone, please enjoy the rest of the evening. And if there is anybody on any other time zone, either a good night or good morning. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
And thanks, Maciek.
Thank you, me.